It was pointed out to me a little while ago that Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 is, in many respects, a horror show. It has been noted that the 2003 anime is a series that relies a great deal on atmosphere, particularly the use of shadow and darker colors and visuals, as well as an amazing soundtrack. This often works very well to push the thematic elements and the emotional conflicts of the characters. This heavy reliance on atmosphere is one reason why it remains one of my favorites and why so many other people probably enjoy it as well. While I think the 2003 series generally does a better job of selling these horror elements, Brotherhood has some really good ones as well. Specifically, FMA as a whole shows a leaning towards body horror. Body horror is pretty much what it sounds like, having to do with horror relating to the physical form. It often involves transformation or mutation, with humans becoming unrecognizable monsters. Just look to the films of David Cronenberg for the best examples. Alchemists use their arts to create perversions of nature, painting some pretty vivid pictures of these themes. The chimeras who team up with greed aren't really treated as human, as they were meant to be weaponized by the state. The clearest example of this is of course Nina, being transformed into that sad creature which is a fusion of her and her dog. Another reason why I really like the 2003 show is that it kept Tucker around and turned him into a pretty creepy mad scientist and one of the major supporting villains. A big part of his whole aesthetic is how his physical form reflects the monster within, where he's turned himself into some sort of ape thing. The contorted head suggests that his throat has become twisted and he can only speak in low whispers. Appropriate, I suppose. The homunculi also work well to demonstrate this, as they are the result of human transmutation gone wrong. They become soulless shadows of their former selves, given powers, but not human bodies. This ties into the themes of recognition of humanity in connection with the body. The homunculi don't see themselves as human because they aren't mortal, and therefore theoretically lack some sort of moral ground based on that, though this generalization is suggested to not be necessarily true later on. In Brotherhood it works almost as well, as they are expulsions of human traits manifested in physical form. They are part of a person, but not a whole. That's one area where Brotherhood really shines with the horror element. We actually get to see how monstrous the homunculi are. Pride, gluttony, and envy all had very intimidating and otherworldly monstrous forms. I suppose you could say the residents of Lab 5 could be a form of it as well, where their souls are attached to suits of armor. So I guess in that case it would almost be the lack of body as a form of body horror, if that's a thing. Fullmetal Alchemist is a great introduction to anime for many reasons. One of those is how well it blends so many genres. One of these is horror, I guess. How about that?